GM, guys, I want to talk about something. Maintaining your hell. Because, you know, about the Bible text, I think there's a possibility that heaven and hell are actually on earth. You know, there's this idea that it's afterlife. And the perspective I've had from it is life, in this sense, is before enlightenment. And when you have enlightenment, you end up in heaven. And if you don't, and your life is a misery, you end up in hell. But it's all within this earth. That's just one perspective I have from it. And so I thought about this when I've been reading a book that I just got that mentions the optimistic guy and pessimistic guy, right? The optimistic guy sees the glass half full and the other half empty. But they gave another perspective, which was the optimistic guy sees the donut and the pessimistic guy sees the whole of the donut, which is different, right? The donut is a good time. The whole is absolutely nothing. So it has a very different meaning than the glass empty and full, because you don't give a fuck about the glass. But if I show it in terms of a donut, the donut, you want it. But the whole, it's literally nothing. There's nothing to want. So the pessimistic guy sees nothing, right? It's about this. And so the book mentions that the optimistic guy creates himself a heaven on earth, while the pessimistic guy creates himself a hell on earth. And that's so fucking true, right? But the thing that I thought about, which is not in the book, is I think you maintain your hell in your physical environment. It doesn't have to be about you being optimistic or pessimistic and seeing life in different fucking ways, you know, and there's a donut and you see the whole, although, of course, it's very important that when events happen, you're able to see the good from them, you know, you don't jump to conclusion. But the thing is, your physical environment impacts your hell or your fucking heaven, right? If you live in, you have bad habits. Let's say you have bad habits. You wake up, you don't make your bed. Your bed's always messy. You throw your dirty clothes on the floor every time. So now you have a pile of clothes all over the room. And all those bad habits create hell around you, right? And now you go to the kitchen, you make yourself breakfast, and you leave your plate, your dirty plate out in the kitchen, and you leave your empty coffee mug out because you think, I'll probably get another coffee. And once you're done eating, you know, you leave your plate with food still on the table. You live like 5 empty bottles. I say this, I have 1 empty bottle behind the camera and 1 full bottle, right? But just all those bad habits of leaving stuff behind that is not needed, that end up creating chaos around you, right? And I don't even want to talk only about tidiness, but a lot of people, you know, you hear this saying, the devil is tied with good intentions, right? Satan comes with good, I mean, I don't know how the saying goes in English, but basically, the devil hides behind good actions, right? So you leave your coffee mug out because you think, I'll get another coffee. It makes sense. It's a decision that makes sense. So I'll just leave it out. But doing this, you leave chaos behind you. You don't do your bed because I'll go to sleep this evening anyway. So you leave more chaos behind you. You leave your clothes on the floor because, honestly, that's just laziness, right? But I don't know. I was a lazy fucker in the past. And I would think, like, anyway, nobody's coming to my place. I'm not inviting people. It's fine if I leave stuff down on the fucking floor, right? That's what I would think. And of course, when you do this, when you know you're outside with people, you know your place is disgusting, it closes the chance that you're going to invite people. So you've created a hell for you because now you're unable to invite people into your dirty as fuck apartment, right? You've created hell that stops good things from happening, right? And I especially want to talk about this in terms of there's many people, in Paris especially, you know, everyone fucking smokes. And you'll hear people say, oh, I'm stopping smoking, right? And they always have cigarettes at home, just in case, right? This is the true hell that I want to talk about because this is purely a negative on you. You want to stop smoking because you know smoking is intoxicating you, damaging you, yet you keep cigarettes inside of your place just in case. Just in case what? happens, exactly. You want to hop back into intoxication as soon as something bad happens? That's what you want to do. That's truly setting hell around you. And it's not only with cigarettes, but also with drugs. You'll see a lot of weed smokers who say, I don't smoke anymore. And then they have weed just in case in the back of the fucking wardrobe, right? Just in case. It's like having Nutella in the back of the kitchen. You go to the supermarket, you buy all the essentials, the healthy things, and then you think, I'm gonna buy a pot of Nutella just in case, right? This is part of creating fucking hell, because it's only things that will damage you in the end. You know they damage you, and that's why you're trying to get away from them. It's been established by your own fucking mind that they're not good for you, and that you want to change from this person. You don't want to be the person that consumes it anymore. You want to become a new person. So how the fuck are you going to become this new person if you allow yourself to have this safety escape route of, I have it just in case, right? It's not fucking possible. Hell is paved with good intentions, right? You have it just in case if you have a mental breakdown and it's going to boost you up, cheer you up a little bit. You're never going to get out of this depression or of this bad habit if you still understand, you still associate this toxic thing as the solution for if you have a mental breakdown or anything, right? You keep your cigarettes just in case you're depressed or something. So you're assuming, you're making it clear that cigarettes are the cure to your depression, except you know it's not the case because you're trying to get away from it. So I'm making this video because I want you to look around yourself, right? It depends on your bad habits. Of course, everyone has different ones, but I know people that have drugs at home, drugs that they've been trying to stop taking drugs for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, and they still have drugs in their fucking house. And of course, they're not stopping. They haven't stopped ever. And they keep telling you, oh, it's so difficult to stop. Yes, it's difficult if you always have it around you, available, because you just keep it around you, because you don't want to change your personality in the end. That's what you don't want to do. You want to keep this toxic habit in the back of your head as the solution for the things you fear, right? Now, if you want to change this, you have to fucking change your habits. You have to look around. Dropping importance is something I'll have to talk about in another video, right? But you have all these worries about everything, and you have to ignore everything you already know, right? Forget everything that you already know and be neutral. Be honest with yourself. Look around you and see, is this something that a good person would have in their place, or an organized person would have in their place? Is that normal to have 5 empty bottles of water on the table? Is it normal to throw your clothes on the floor? Is it normal to keep a ton of snacks in the back of the kitchen just in case? A ton of chips, a ton of fucking Doritos, a ton of Nutella, a ton of sweet drinks, just in case. You don't need all of this shit. And by definition, if you have them around you, you are going to use them because you're keeping them just in case. But life is a cycle of good and bad. You're always going to go through good and bad. It's always going to happen, all right? There is no way to avoid bad. It's always going to come back to you because however happy you can get, if you get, let's say happiness is from 0 to 100, it's a scale. If you're at 0, super depressed, if you get to 10 of happiness, which is fucking out of 10 of 100, is still super fucking sad, right? But if you go from super depressed to 10, you get super happy, right? And then let's say you get super happy 10 times in a row, you go from 0 to 100, super happy, and then one sad event happens, you go to 90, right? You're 90% happy, but you're going to be so much happier than you've been when you were depressed, but yet this little drop in happiness is going to destroy you. Because happiness is relative to how sad you've been recently. Your sadness and happiness are hand in hand, they go hand in hand. You can't do without them, all right? So you can't have toxicity stuff at home and expect toxicity to not happen. First of all, sad stuff will happen anyway, but if you prepare for the sad events to happen, of, like, you're embracing them, basically. You're embracing sad stuff to happen because you have those bad habits as solutions stuck around in your house, ready to be used anytime. You're basically asking for them to happen so that you could use those safety mechanisms that you have. It's not safety, by the way. It's the thing that you want to call yourself are going to help me if I need it just in case, right? The cigarettes, the drugs, this Nutella, the sweet drinks. You don't need any of these. And by simply having those things around, you're allowing for them to be used. You know, if you don't want to use them again, if you want to change your personality, just having them means that you're allowed to not change. If you want to change, you can't have those things around. First of all, I'm talking about the products that you consume that create your hell. And if you want to get out of your hell, get out of the fucking fire. You know, don't keep having fires all around your place. You can put it out easily by spitting a little water on it, by not buying the Nutella, by not having cigarettes around. First of all, if you have cigarettes around and you want to stop, the thing that you should fucking do is throw them away, or literally throw them into the fire. Don't give them to someone because you would be intoxicating them. You know, everyone needs to stop smoking. So you're not helping anybody by giving them your cigarettes because you're trying to stop. You're giving them a poisoned gift. Just like drugs, if you have drugs, you want to stop drugs, you throw them away. You don't give them to somebody, you throw it into the toilet. You can't keep those things around. You can't allow them to happen. If you have them, you're allowing for the potential universe where it happens that you smoke them again, right? If you don't have them, and this emergency case of just in case happens, and you don't have those things, you'll be forced to not drop down into this identity again that's going to push you to consume the bad things when you are in stress or in crisis, right? If you don't have those things at all, you're going to force yourself to learn another way to deal with crisis, right? If you have them right in your house right now, it's because you know that you've always been going back to them when something goes bad, and you expect to go back onto them again when things get wrong. So it's only by not having them that you're going to be able to go through those crises where you don't have them and you have to learn a new way to change, right? It's very important that you fix your hair like this. So that's in terms of food and consumable stuff, right? The things that you can consume that create hell into your life. But now, it's the same with everything else in your fucking house. If your bed is always messy, you're going to be messy in your mind associated with it. I didn't believe this kind of shit myself when I was like 16, 17 years old, because I was a big fucking geek playing video games 16 hours a day. And I knew very well that nobody was coming into my room. It's fine. I'm basically doing myself a favor not making my bed because I have one less movement to do, right? I don't have to remove the blanket. All right, my bad, my phone ran out of battery. So, if your bed is never done, you wake up, it's never done. You wake up, you have 5 bottles of water fighting on your little desktop. If you have clothes all over the floor, it's so much that you can't even walk straight. I think that's a great sign of knowing if your place is messy. If you can't walk effortlessly, you live in hell, all right? I've experienced with my family a lot before with siblings and shit. Like, if the place is so messy that you can't walk without effort, it's not normal. Like, if you have to fucking lift your legs up to walk above fucking clothing, above fucking boxes, fucking stuff, this is not normal. You're creating a hell for yourself, right? And how the fuck do you want to have a stress-free life when you have to add extra energy every day because of how messy your place is, right? If you have to raise your legs higher because you can't walk in a straight line in your place. I used to not believe this when I was younger, when I was like anything before 21, because I was a video game addict before that, and I just lived like a dirty motherfucker. My place was always messy as fuck. I didn't clean my room. I thought, check this out. And so everything was dirty, and I thought, why would I make my bed? I'm gonna go to sleep again tonight. I'm not gonna have fucking people around. I'm not gonna invite people. I'm not gonna have girls over. And of course, if your place is dirty as fuck, you are not allowing for those things to happen. How the fuck do you want good things to happen if you know very well your place is not able to allow for good things to happen? You know? Your place is so messy that only bad events can happen in such places, you know? You can't have... the thing I wanted to say that about, I used to not believe it, that when your place is messy, your mind is messy. This seemed to me like some bullshit, but the reason is because when your place is tidy up, when your place is clean, everything's in order, then it's effortless to go around the house. Everything is smooth. You know, you have to take the path of least resistance in life with everything you do. And when your place is super nicely tied up, you have no effort to do. You know where everything is, and everything is seamless. Well, if your place is messy as fuck, you can't even eat here because there's already a dirty plate here. You have to push it away, but then there's fucking other dirty stuff on the side that you have to move away because you can't put your plate. Like, a little bit of disorder leads to more disorder, and more disorder leads to chaos in your house. And once you live in chaos, what else do you expect to happen apart from more chaos? Chaos leads to more chaos. You know, you need the place around you, your environment, to be paradise, not hell. If everything is seamless, everything's easy to do, it's paradise. You created a paradise for you, right? If you have your desk super nicely organized, no useless shit on it, you have room to do anything you want. You're free. This is paradise, isn't it? If everything is easy, it's paradise. But if your desk is super fucking dirty with 5 bottles of water and 5 mugs and 3 dirty plates and stains on it, you are living in hell. You've made the hell for yourself, right? So every day you're going to have those options where it's going to be at every present moment, all right? At every present moment, you're going to have the option of building upwards or going downwards, right? If you're going to the kitchen, you have the opportunity to bring your plates and mugs back. You're going to be in this present moment where you have this opportunity to do it. Because you're going to go in the kitchen anyway, maybe to get an extra coffee. So, will you take the opportunity to make your place better? At every present moment, this is going to be always a present moment thing. It's always in the present moment that you clean up your place. You don't think about it in terms of, fuck, I didn't clean up the place last week, now it's dirty, right? If you want it to be clean, you have to spend a present moment now to clean it. You have to think about it in terms of present moments, right? So if it's the present moment, now you decide what you're doing. If you take the chance, you take the opportunity to make it clean, then you're going to be closer to paradise. And then if at every present moment you take the steps towards paradise instead of hell, you're building up instead of breaking down, isn't it interesting? In life, everything is either growing or dying. That's the truth of fucking biology. Either you're growing, either you're dying. It works with fucking everything. Either you're building upwards with your life or you're building downwards. You're not building, you're breaking down. You're either building up or breaking down. So it's going to be about your present moment taking the action that's going to build up instead of break down. Right? And it's going to take realization, because if you don't even realize it, you're going to wake up, get out of bed, get in the kitchen, and you didn't even think about making your bed. You didn't think about bringing down your mugs to the kitchen and shit like this. And of course, you need to realize it. So first of all, this video is here as a wake-up call, kind of. And after watching it, you'll probably look around your house and realize that you live probably in chaos and that you have to fix it. But because now I've put this seed in your head, you might not think about it every time, all the time. Of course, you won't. It's going to take building up energy towards it. But you're going to, every so often, notice that you're in hell. You've built a hell for yourself. Every time you're going to walk over your dirty clothes, you're going to remember, fuck, I built a hell for myself right here. I have to reorganize all this bullshit. So That's it. That's pretty much the goal of this video, to tell you that hell and paradise are around you right now, and you've made it yourself. You've built the hell around yourself, or you've built the paradise around yourself. And if everything is paradise, everything's going to go smoothly, life will be easier. Life will be just fucking easier because your place is clean and ordered. And because you don't have things that will allow you to sin, you see? You don't have drugs hidden somewhere, you don't have junk food that will destroy your body, your temple, right? The paradise is here. Even though bad events might happen, if bad events happen, but you're in paradise, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing really. It's not going to be bad. If a bad event happens, but your place is a heaven, the bad thing is going to maybe reduce your energy by 10%. Instead of being in hell, but the bad thing destroys your mood by 90%, you see? I want you to build a paradise around you, you see? I don't understand why people like to, there's some people that have so much stuff in their house, they collect everything. They have 200 fucking little Pokemons, they have 300 fucking other manga, yeah, they have 300 manga in a fucking book stuff. They have little anime girls, they have 20 of them, and their place is full of stuff. You've created chaos around you. Right? Even though you might have organized it in the geekest way possible, you're surrounded by useless stuff that drag your energy away from progress. You know, you should aim to have your energy focused on progress all the time, not on dragging energy away from you. If your place is messy, it drags energy away from you because you have to spend extra energy to just go around doing your life. If everything's perfect, you take the path of least resistance and everything's easy. Life is perfect, all right? Okay, well, if you're interested in more of this kind of knowledge, which I teach in my one-to-one program, I recommend you book a call in the description so we can talk about your situation, where you want to get to, and I can help you out with what I do on my Instagram, nutrition fitness, right? I can get you a six-pack, I think anything you want. And of course, you might have noticed, my Instagram is a food account. I'm a chef. I'm not that's the image I show on Instagram, is that I'm a chef. But really, I have much more in my head than fucking food. If you want wellness, it's not going to be only on your fucking plate. The plate is literally 20% of it. And 60% of it is in your fucking head. 70% and maybe 10% fitness at the gym. 10%. So it's all going to be stuff that happens in your head. And I want to help you improve the situation in terms of that, right? So if you're interested, I'll book a call in the description and we can see if you're a nice fit for my program. Otherwise, press follow on the YouTube channel. Press follow on Instagram if you don't know me. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.